Okay, so dear student, in this class we discuss about a few new topic or important topic of this chapter, that is area vector, electric flux, Gauss's theorem. So in this class we discuss about only area vector and electric flux. In next class we discuss about the Gauss theorem. Okay, so what is area vector? We know that area is a vector quantity, not the scalar quantity. It has a magnitude and also has a direction, and direction of area always perpendicular to the surface, whatever the surface. Suppose this is a surface or this is a one kind of area. Okay, so whatever the length and breadth, this is magnitude, this is the magnitude of the area, and it's always directed towards the perpendicular direction. That's why the area is a vector quantity. So what is area vector? Area vector is a vector of a plane surface whose magnitude is the area of the figure and whose direction is that of a perpendicular to the plane of the figure. So suppose if we place a area like this way, so what will be the area direction? This perpendicular surface. In this surface, this is the perpendicular direction of a area vector. Okay, so always the direction of area vector is perpendicular to the plane of the surface. Or we can say that area vector is a vector whose magnitude is equal to the area and is directed normal to the surface. So here in this figure, we consider a surface S, and for our calculation purpose, we consider a small area element ds. So small area element ds, its direction towards perpendicular to the surface, that is this ds is called area vector of surface S, of small surface element ds. Okay, so now area vector depends upon the position of the surface S, position of the surface or position of a plane plane surface or any surface area. Okay, if we place like this way, so whatever the perpendicular, this direction is a perpendicular. If we place like this way, so this is a perpendicular direction, that means direction of the area vector of this surface of this mobile. Okay, now the main topic or very important topic, electric flux. In previous videos we also discussed some properties of electric field lines, electric fields. Okay, so electric flux, what is electric flux? Electric flux, okay, we take one example. Suppose the electric field lines, here one point charge is situated here, so it creates a non-uniform electric field. Okay, suppose we consider the uniform electric field are perpendicular to this surface and we place this mobile over here inside this electric field. So what happened? Inside this surface of this mobile, some electric field lines linked with the surface perpendicularly or normally. So the number of electric field lines which linked with the surface or which passes through this surface normally or perpendicularly, that is called electric flux. So for electric flux we need the number of, from electric flux definition we get the number of, or we measure the flow of strength of the electric field lines. How many electric field lines linked with the closed surface. So let's see about its definition. It is the rate of flow of electric field lines through a given area normally. Through a given area, so if we placed any kind of area inside a uniform electric field or non-uniform electric field, whatever the number of electric field lines linked with the surface and passes through it normally or perpendicularly is called electric flux. Electric flux is proportional to the number of electric field lines. So we can say that if number of electric field lines more, then electric flux, the strength of the electric flux is more. If the number of electric field lines less, then the strength of the electric flux also less. Why? So suppose we place this surface like this way. So the number of field lines linked with this surface is more. Now if we change the position of this surface like this way. So here the number of, in this surface, the number of electric field lines linked with this surface is less compared to the first one. Okay, so here whatever the strength of the electric flux is this condition and the electric flux in this condition, which one is a mode? This one is a mode. So here two diagrams we consider. One, suppose this is an area element ds. It is along the electric field lines. Okay, so area vector towards this side, and we place it inside the uniform electric field lines, means parallel to each other. Okay, so for first figure, it is denoted by, this electric flux is denoted by phi. One circle, then cut it. This is phi. Okay, so for first figure, E and ds both are in the same direction. So phi equals to E into delta S or ds. Now if the uniform electric field direction is same, now if we change the position of this surface like this way, that means it placed inside the uniform electric field with a angle theta with the area vector ds. So in that case, we resolve this area vector along this axis, that is ds cos theta. So what is the flux? Flux equals to E ds cos theta. So when like this type of questions will come, or this type of problem will create, we resolve this area vector along two components. One is a cos theta base, because this is the base. So this is ds cos theta, ds sin theta. So phi equals to E into ds cos theta. So cos theta means the dot product. We have two type of product, dot product and cross product. So we can say that electric flux is a dot product of electric field vector and the area vector. So phi equals to, we can write E dot A. So phi equals to, we can write E dot A. Clearly? Okay, now take one example. Not only the position of the surface, also this electric flux, direction of electric flux and the value, it depends upon the observer position. Suppose this is a surface, so it's perpendicular, this is the perpendicular direction of the area vector A, and this is a uniform electric field. So here A, and we observe from this side. So wherever the observer position, the area vector towards that observer. If we observe a position in this side, so area vector this side. Okay. So in this case, this E and A are parallel to each other. The area vector A and electric field both are parallel to each other. That means the angle between them, theta equals to 0 degree. So phi equals to E A cos theta. So here theta equals to 0. So cos 0, 1. So E phi equals to EA. That is the maximum value of electric flux if we place the surface parallel to the, or if the area vector is parallel to the electric field lines. Now in second figure, we place, this is the uniform field direction, and we place the surface like this way. Okay. And the electric field lines passing through this way, and we place this side, and observer towards your mobile screen. Okay, it is not draw, that means it is a perpendicular towards your eyes, so it is not draw like that way. That's why we draw in this side. So in this case, this area vector and uniform electric field lines are perpendicular to each other. That means theta equals to 90 degree. So phi equals to, we get 0. So in this position, no electric field lines linked with the surface. So if no field line links with the surface, then electric flux is 0. Now in third case, suppose the observer position is this side. So and we place the normal like this way, and the electric field lines this pen direction towards the paper. And we place like this way, and we observe from here. So area vector towards the observer, but the electric field lines in this side, so opposite direction. So theta equals to 180 degree. So phi equals to, we can say that, minus E into A. So this is also the maximum, but this is in the negative direction. So from this 3, we conclude that the electric field line flux can be 0, positive, or negative. positive, 0 or negative. Now when from this two surface, if we consider the observer position is fixed for both cases, in here and in these two cases, figure 1 and figure 3, in these two cases, suppose the observer position is same, fixed, we can't change the observer position. Now the electric field lines, if the electric field line outwards from the surface, then electric flux is positive, okay, and when the electric field lines inwards the surface towards the surface, the electric flux is negative. For both cases, if we place like this way, that means here observer position is this side, uniform electric field direction this side, but area vector this side. Now the opposite case, like same, uniform electric field lines this side, observer position also this side, so area vector also this side. So in that case, A parallel to E, and this case A anti-parallel to E, okay. But in these two cases, if the observer position is same or fixed, clear? Okay, now we derive one formula for electric flux. Here we consider a closed surface S is placed inside an uniform electric field E, and we consider a small area element ds. So this is not a perpendicular, okay, with the angle theta of E electric field. This is the area vector of this small area element, okay. So for this, only for this area element, the number of electric field lines through ds perpendicularly, that is called electric flux. So because this is a small area element, so the electric flux also be small. So d phi equals to, we know that E dot ds, E ds cos theta. Now if we consider this whole surface is a sum of this small area element ds, so the total flux passing through this closed surface is phi equals to integration, closed integration. This is called closed, and S means surface integration, because here we consider surface. So closed surface integration d phi. Now closed surface integration d phi equals to E dot ds, closed surface integration E ds cos theta. Now same in these three cases we explain here also same thing. First case, if theta equals to 0 degree, phi equals to yes maximum, theta equals to 90 degree, that 0 degree means E and A, area vector and electric field vector, parallel to each other. 90 degree means both are perpendicular to each other, phi equals to 0. Theta equals to 180 degree means area vector and electric field vector or electric field lines anti-parallel to each other. We get the maximum but in a negative direction. Now the unit and dimension of the electric flux. The SI unit of electric flux is Newton meter square per coulomb, because phi equals to E into S. E means F by Q into S. F by Newton, Q is a coulomb, S is a surface area. So meter square, Newton meter square per coulomb. Now if we find out the dimension of phi, so that means dimension of electric field, dimension of surface area. Surface area, this means that is length into breadth, L square, okay. So E, how we get the dimension of E? E equals to F by Q, Q equals to I into T. We know the dimension of F, m L to the power minus 2, I is I only, T is the capital T. So we get m L T inverse, I inverse. So if we put here, so we get dimension of phi, m L cube T to the power minus cube, I to the power minus 1. So this is the dimension, unit and dimension of electric flux. So electric flux is nothing but the number of electric field lines linked with the surface, given surface, normally or perpendicularly, okay. So which electric field lines linked with the surface perpendicularly, that is called electric flux of that given surface, and it is denoted by phi, and it is a scalar quantity, okay. Because because if we consider a point charge creates a non-uniform, in all direction it creates the electric field line. So it is a non-uniform electric field lines. So if you placed any surface inside a non-uniform electric field lines, so few of electric field lines are linked with the surface and they are perpendicular to each other. That's why either it will be uniform or non-uniform. So the number of electric field lines linked with the surface or passing through the surface normally or perpendicularly is called electric flux. So electric flux is a scalar product of electric field E and area vector A, and area vector always towards the perpendicular to the surface or towards the observer. If observer is this side here, so the on direction is this side. Clear? Thank you.